Well, one of the interesting things, I'm curious what you think. Do you think that, so I would agree about the political stuff. Do you think that economically companies and like YouTube and these types tend to kowtow to the really loud progressive side?
Yeah, but I think it's just because you make a lot of money doing it. Like, it makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you want to be more inclusive to have like bigger and broader audiences for your stuff? Now, some of it gets a little cringy for sure, but in general, like, yeah, having black people and women and trans people and Indians and Asians and all of that is probably good. It's good. That representation is good. That's like one of the good things that progressives push for that I think is fine. I think it's totally okay.
Do you think that, so like, I would agree about like some inclusivity. I feel like Marvel got really, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just like not understanding. I thought like Marvel's been getting like pretty with some of their like new like basically once they got onto like the Captain Marvel kind of genre of Marvel that it's been like less popular or maybe it's just less popular amongst their old viewers. Maybe that's all that's happened. I'm not sure.
I hate that I know so much about superhero shit right now. It's probably what you're saying is true, but anybody that tells you that Marvel right now is suffering because of woke problems is probably just not a big fan of superhero movies or Marvel. That they just have no idea what they're talking about. They probably are casual watchers or whatever. The problem with Marvel is Marvel built out. Imagine Game of Thrones, okay? And imagine Game of Thrones in season 5 kills off all the Starks, all the Lannisters, and then like takes you to like the east part of the world and just starts all over again with like totally different people that you don't care about who are all like worse than the original people. That's where Marvel is at right now. The issue is that like they had their whole cinematic universe and then it built up to these 2 huge movies, and at the end of those movies they killed off a couple of who were like the most favorite characters that the whole universe arguably revolved around, and now they're trying to find their footing with like new heroes. But like we went from like iconic people like Iron Man and Captain America to like Ant-Man and like a Time Wizard dude.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
like that's the issue. That's the issue I think with Marvel right now. It doesn't have anything to do with the woke shit. Oh, and then also every single person now wants to have like multiverses and everything, which is like changing how much people care about everything. And then you also run into weird threats. I don't know if you ever watched DBZ, but like every like shonen anime runs into this issue eventually where like a main villain can like flick his fingers and destroy the entire world. So it's probably hard to ramp up and build threats again. Like in Iron Man 1,
Yeah.
like the really interesting threat was some guy building a really big mech suit. Like that was like, holy shit, he's an awesome mech that's gonna like kill people. That's crazy. But like nowadays, every single threat is like, if this guy gets the right stone, he's not even gonna destroy our universe. He's gonna destroy 27 universes. And you can only scale that type of shit up so far before you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is good.
It's like the Bleach problem where like by season 3 when you're like killing gods easily, it's like where
yeah,
else do
exactly.
you
Yeah,
go?
where
You
the
get too
fuck do
big
you
for
go
your
from here?
britches.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Okay. So you think that monetarily, like bowing to the woke is financially acceptable? Because do you think that the studio that made Everything Everywhere, is it Studio A24 or
yeah, that
something
was
like
an
that?
A24 film. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're just like tearing it up. Do you find that they're like super wokey or because I feel like they do movies in a way that I haven't seen Hollywood do movies in a really long time. And they're like, it's fantastic.
So this is going to sound weird, and it's almost going to be a step back to some extent, but there is a good way to do representation, and that's by having like diversity in your cast and your stories is really, really, really good. And I think
Yeah.
everybody likes all of these things more for it. But it's not good when you're like, look at this, look at this, look at how diverse this is, look, and you're constantly bringing attention to it. I think that is ultra fucking cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like so in the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie, like the mixing in of like I think it's Cantonese they speak with English, like these types of things are really cool. They make the movie feel very authentic. They get like Asian actors for all this
Super,
stuff. Yeah, like that's really cool. It feels cool. But there's never like I could be wrong, but I don't think there's ever a moment in that movie where they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad we did this because we're Asian and we're better than white people," right? Whereas it feels like a lot of movies today would do that. I think that's one aspect that plays into the success of things that are like more diverse and don't try to like
Right.
bring attention all the time. A second thing that A24 does really well is I read an article on this once. Apparently, something that we're missing in America right now is people don't make mid-budget movies very often. And mid-budget movies are like this ultimate sweet spot of both having good effects, having good like presence on camera and everything, but also like having like relatively unique and original stories. So making a movie for like $5 to $20 million is like this cool spot where you're not throwing this huge amount of money, but you've got enough to like make a really cool project, and you get a lot of cool, unique stories that come out of that. These mid-budget
Right.
movies. But nowadays, everybody wants to make like the $400 million Marvel movies, the massive blockbusters, or it's going to be some indie film with like a 6-figure budget, you know?
Right. And they don't want to give $400 million to an untested story.
Yeah, and they don't need to either. Like I'm pretty sure. Like if I look at Everything Everywhere All at Once Wikipedia, Like this was probably a larger budget for an A24 movie, would be my guess. And the budget for this movie was like about $15-20 million, you know?
Damn. I didn't realize it was so small comparatively. So I agree. I guess my question is, I think the reason why A24 is in part like so successful, and I hope that they don't get destroyed, is because they've like followed the principle of what like particularly like progressives have been always fighting for. But they're applying the principle, not like the law, right? Where they're not being like, where like a girl walks in like a suit and she's like, my name is Black Captain Woman, and I am a woman who is also Black and LGBTQ, and I will stop you. And it's just like, we got it, right? Like it's just so much more natural, where it's just like a normal Asian family. That makes sense. And the Asian daughter is like dating a white girl. All of that makes sense. She's like bringing up LGBTQ issues in a supernatural human way. Which is why I think they're doing it well. And I feel like if we move like the left back in that direction, I feel like it's going to be like so much more powerful. But so much of like this online progressive space, especially, which I think like the culture war is like these types of movies.
Yeah, the online stuff is super cringe. I don't know what to say. I wish I could find these people in real life to like scream at them, because holy fucking shit.
The problem is in real life they're not like that. Like
yeah, maybe, or they'll concede very quickly to how like unreasonable they're being on a lot of points, maybe. But yeah, Jesus fucking Christ, it's just it's gotten a little bit cringe, I'd say.
A wee bit cringe.
All the things around the guy that got killed on the subway, like for instance, it's like you can tell that like a lot of people are like the height of their lives was like fucking George Floyd and the BLM protests, and they just want to like go back to that. And it's like, bro, Jesus, like not every single Black person that gets killed needs to be like the next George Floyd. Like we got it.